Hello and welcome to this tutorial video. I spoke at the weekend about resistance bands and how these can be great tools for your workout. Poor Angela got a little bit of a sample run of that when she chose to do the resistance band, and I coached her through our strength workout using the resistance band. So I just want to have a quick discussion about resistance bands and some of the different exercises I'll show you that you can do with these. So there are a variety of different types of resistance bands. So I'm just going to grab a few to let you see. There is also one that I haven't actually taken in because I was being lazy, to be honest, and didn't go out because it's outside the ones that I've got. Or I might have some downstairs as well, it doesn't matter. So we have the physio style resistance bands. Okay, so with these, the different colours give you the different strengths. Okay, so there's certain colorings for certain strengths, so you can, with these, they're usually untied and then you can tie them together to create a resistance band in that way, or you can have them separated and then that allows you to kind of use both the ends to do different pulling movements and different stretches with them as well. We have these little bands as well, so you can get big versions of these, which is or the little banded versions. So again, these can be used in a variety of different ways. Wrapped around the wrist, for example, for some exercises using it that way. You can take it so that it's over and above the knees. You can also do at the ankles to do some exercises that will work into the glutes and things like that. So there's a whole host of different exercises that you can do with these. Some of you might be familiar with these types of bands as well, with the handles on them. So I've got different types here. Again, it depends on your manufacturer and things like that as to whether the different colours mean anything. Usually the boxes or wherever you buy them from will say light, medium, heavy resistance and things like that. It's the same with some of the loop bands that I just shown you. Some of them will also have on them, hopefully you can see this, it lets you see, it's reversed but never mind, it lets you see how much of a resistance that the bands offer to you as well. This one I can switch the handles out, so I can change it so that I can pop it onto a heavier resistance band, and again these are colour coded for that purpose. I've got my black bands here and it offers greater resistance than my green band, so I would just attach that on. I can attach several together as well, and that will make it even harder for me to do the exercises because it adds extra resistance that way. I feel like I'm in a sales, car sales ship or something like that, some shopping channel trying to sell you these. You also have these ones that you might be familiar with as well. So again, very similar. Instead of being able to take away the handles though, they're attached. I quite like these because I feel like you get the better transfer of the resistance that way. Sometimes with the clip-on ones, the link between them kind of makes it a bit tricky to do some of the exercises. With these, there is often, again, that idea of colours of the band making a difference. Sometimes it just depends on the manufacturer again. But again, they should tell you light, medium, heavy resistance. Sometimes one manufacturer's idea of light is totally different from another's, so sometimes you have to test them out to really get to know them. There is another type of band that you might have seen people using for like pull-ups and things like that, so you get different strengths with them, and again, generally the colour of them and the thickness of the band makes a difference. So that was the ones that I was going to take up that I haven't actually taken up for you, but if anyone does want to kind of know a little bit more about them, you can always let me know. So they're like a proper loop without any sort of a break within that looping system, and you can do again a variety of different exercises with it. I'm showing you hand movements to show you what you could do, but basically you would use them like a resistance band, but they're just a complete loop. You can use them to do assisted exercises as well, like your pull-ups, your dips on the dip bar and things like that. So that you can also attach them to weights to make the resistance on the weight, so like a weighted bar, harder as well. And they are fantastic for things like that because that basically means that you don't have to increase with weight to make it harder, and they also change where the actual resistance level hits in as well, which is really good. I'm not going to go into all the complicated stuff like that, but it basically makes it a whole lot better that you're more under tension throughout the movement of the exercise, so it's really good. It's a nice piece of kit if you can kind of get your head around how to use them properly. So I'm going to talk about some of the exercises and just show you some exercises that you can do with the band, very simple ones. So we'll go into some squat ones. So for these, you can step both feet into your resistance band, and then you can place your handles up at your shoulder here, and it's just a normal squat, but it just adds that extra resistance. When I'm driving up, I really have to squeeze up to get through the resistance there. So it's trying to pull me down to the ground. I'm having to power through my glutes and my quads and my hamstrings to raise up and control that squat. Again, this can be done with other exercises as well. So in the workout at the weekend, we were thinking about trying to work the outer sort of glute portion here with our adduction work. So here, without trying to lean into it, I am kicking out to the side. And as Angela can tell you, this one really does burn into the glute eventually after a wee while. You can obviously do it side to side. You can also cross these handles over. So I'm crossing them into an X shape and taking the opposite. So the one that's under my left foot, I'm taking my right hand, and the one that's under my right foot, I'm taking into the, so the one that was under the right foot is under my left hand now. I can then squat down, and I really want to push my knees out wide, taking these bands to my hip, pushing my bum back into that nice squat position. If I want to increase that tension, I just take my grip further down the band, and then I can do little walks to the side, and I can sink down lower into that. But I'm really trying to push the feet out and get that tension in here. Doesn't work if I just let it all go sort of loose and no tension in the band, or if I take too big a step into that as well. And obviously the lower I sink down, the more of the squat that I'll get for that. You can also go into bicep curls, so there's a range of ways you can do this. You could step both feet into this and do the curls from there. I could take one foot further back and do my curls from here. So depending on where you step into the band as well makes a difference for the resistance. So I'm going to show you that for rows. Okay, so for that row, we have done these in some classes before. So I'm stepping into the band on one foot. The closer that I take this foot towards the handle, so the more I lengthen the other side of it, and the shorter I make this, the harder it's going to be. So if I step so that there's more tubing on the outside of my foot, that makes it easier. If I step closer to the handle, that's going to make it harder. So from here, I step my shoulders back, belly button tucked in, hinging forward, nice long line, and then I squeeze that elbow up and I lower down with control. I can also take the band further down without the handle part, and again, that's going to make it harder for me to do that squeeze up. If I find it's too easy, I step further into it, and then again, squeezing up, lowering back down with control. Can also work into triceps here. So again, there are a variety of ways to work into the triceps. I can go into that sort of lunge position, back foot placed on the band, elbow up nice and high, everything tucked in, raising the arm up, just bending at the elbow, and then straightening it. So it is just that lengthening of the arm working into the back of the hand, back of the arm. Can also do this by, I'll come down on my knees so you can see. So I can grab the tubing here, and again, same action, reaching up nice and tall, and then slowly lowering down with control. The more of the tubing that I take with my hands, so basically getting the 2 points closer together, the harder that is going to be for me. Further away, so the more tubing that I let feed through, the easier it's going to be. Okay, so again, that's how you can play with it. So that's a great thing about the resistance band, is you can play about with how much resistance you're getting depending on where you're placing the band in comparison to your body and the handle as well. You can also do lunge movements with these. So I can just wrap it around 1 foot here, and I can have this up to my, well, I can have it on the ground here if I want, so I can just have one, and I can step it out to a side lunge, getting that resistance here. I can also go in so that I have both here, and again, just stepping out, I can push the band away if I want to add that little bit of resistance there, and then step it back. So I'm powering through the leg, pushing away, taking it back in, stepping back here. I can add a little bit of rotation here, so turning chest away, back to center, and then drive it from there. Trying to think what other exercises you can do. So you can do some shoulder work here as well. So placing as much tension on the band as I can, keeping that tension, raising up to shoulder height, still maintaining that tension, and I really feel that my shoulders are having to activate here to keep the tension on the band. If I want to make it easier, I can make it into a single strap. And again here, I can also take my hands wider apart, and again that's going to make it less resistance for me to pull apart. Rising up and back down. Closer they are together, the harder it is for me to pull apart. And then back down. Again, we can do movements where you can work into the chest as well. So band can be at the front, and then I pull the band towards my chest using my chest muscles. Pull, and then come back. So here, got tension on the band, but then I'm pulling my arms apart, taking them back in. So just a variety of different exercises that you can do with the band. And there's millions, well not millions, but there's so many different variations that you can do, and different movement patterns that you can make with these. You can combine different movements together as well. So most of the exercises that you do in a general class of body weight, you can add extra load with the resistance band, and can use different resistance bands for that as well. You can do even presses above the head with it, where you wrap the feet underneath and then press the handles up above the head, and then low and control back down. You can even do that push press movement where you use the legs as well. So hopefully that's kind of given you a little bit of an idea of different things that you can do with the band. As I say, there's a whole host of different exercises, and if it's something that people are interested in, we can always look at doing that in a class one day, and just different exercises. Strength class, we can use the bands in the strength class throughout the workouts that I've programmed as well, so you can always come along to the Saturday class to give it a try, and I'll show you how to do each of the exercises that we'd usually do with weights with the band instead. You can also use dumbbells in your bag and things like that. For the strength class, we can use bars as well, if anyone's got bars, or just free weight plates as well. So that's just a whole host of different things that you can do. Hopefully this video has been of use. Give me a shout if there's any questions or anything more that you'd like me to look at, but enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you for watching.